Alex slowly opened his eyes, squinting at the dim light of his small dorm room. The faint hum of the heating system filled the silence. At first he thought he was dreaming, but the sharp cold against his skin quickly made him realize he was awake. Something was wrong. Before he could fully wake up, he felt a small shivering weight on the edge of his bed. His heart skipped a beat. Sitting up, Alex gasped. There, curled up under his blanket, was his roommate. But it wasn't like any person he had seen before. Her skin was pale, almost glowing faintly, and her long silver-blue hair shimmered under the morning light. Her slender fingers clutched at the blanket and her body trembled with cold. "Lyra?" Alex asked cautiously, his voice hoarse from sleep. The alien roommate stirred slightly but did not speak. She let out a soft, almost musical sigh. Alex noticed her eyes were unusually large and luminous, reflecting shades of violet and deep blue. Her pupils contracted sharply as she blinked in the bright light. She looked fragile, and Alex suddenly felt a surge of worry. "What happened?" he asked, his mind racing. He leaned closer and noticed her lips quivering. "Are you freezing?" Lyra tried to speak, but only a soft, broken sound escaped her lips. She shook her head slightly, her shivering worsening. Alex's concern grew. He had shared a dorm with her for a few weeks now, but he had never seen her like this. She had always seemed calm, even in situations where he panicked. Seeing her so vulnerable made his chest tighten. He acted fast. Pulling the blanket around her more securely, he placed his hands gently on her back to transfer some of his own warmth. "It's okay, Lyra," he said softly. "You're going to be fine." Slowly, she relaxed against him, but the shivering didn't stop completely. Alex knew this was serious. He scrambled out of bed and grabbed a hot water bottle from his desk drawer. Wrapping it in a towel, he pressed it gently against her back. "We need to warm you up," he said. "You can't stay like this." Lyra's eyes flicked to his, and for the first time she seemed scared. Alex realized that despite her alien appearance, she was feeling something very human. Fear. He carefully moved her to the center of the bed and added more blankets. Using all the heat sources he could find, including his own jacket, he tried to make a safe, warm space for her. The process was slow, but gradually her shivering lessened. Alex felt a mixture of relief and curiosity. He had always known Lyra was not human. Her intelligence and physical abilities had already hinted at that. But seeing her like this made him want to understand her more. Once she stopped shaking uncontrollably, Alex pulled up a chair next to the bed. "Can you talk now?" he asked. Lyra nodded weakly, her voice barely audible. "Cold, very cold," she said, struggling with the words. Her accent was strange, soft, and musical, making her speech feel almost like singing. "I know," Alex said, his tone gentle. "You're safe now. I'm going to help you, okay?" Lyra's large eyes glistened as she looked at him. There was a moment of connection, an unspoken understanding. She had trusted him enough to let him help, even though she was far from her home planet, in a world full of unfamiliar people. Alex thought about how humans could adapt to different climates, how their bodies managed heat and cold in ways other species might find strange. Maybe that was what could save her. He had read about alien physiology in some articles, but nothing prepared him for a real situation like this. "Lyra, do you want me to get something warm to drink?" he asked. "Maybe tea or soup?" She nodded again, too weak to speak. Alex quickly went to the small kitchenette in their dorm. His mind raced as he thought about what kind of drink could help an alien from another planet. He settled on warm water first, thinking it would be safest. As he poured it into a cup, he glanced back at her. She was curling her long limbs close to her body, trying to conserve warmth. Her shivers were smaller now, but still noticeable. Returning to her side, he held the cup carefully to her lips. She sipped slowly, her glowing eyes watching him with curiosity. It was a strange scene. 2 roommates in a small dorm room, one human and one alien, connected by a simple act of care. After she drank, Alex wrapped her in another blanket and settled back into the chair. "I need to figure out why you're so cold," he said. "Is this normal for you?" Lyra shook her head. "No, home, warmer," she said softly. "Earth, different." Alex nodded, trying to keep his voice calm. "Yeah, I can see that. Your body isn't used to Earth's temperatures. We'll fix this. Don't worry." He realized that this could be more than just a minor problem. Lyra's body seemed to lose heat faster than humans, and if she stayed exposed to cold for too long, it could be dangerous. He needed to learn how to help her survive in this world. For the next hour, Alex stayed by her side. He made a small bed fort with every blanket they had, even piling his own jacket on top. He whispered reassuring words, and gradually Lyra's breathing became more steady. She curled up closer to the blankets, her tiny body finally seeming to relax. Curiosity got the better of Alex. "Lyra, can you tell me about your planet? Your people?" She looked at him, her eyes wide and reflective. "Ice, snow, bright lights, strong sun," she said slowly. "My people, not cold like this." Alex tried to imagine it, a planet of snow and ice, yet somehow warmer than Earth's winter nights. He realized that humans' ability to adapt to different climates might be what made them special in the universe. Maybe it was why she came here, to study humans like him. "Maybe we can figure out how to make Earth feel warmer for you," Alex suggested. "We can try different ways: clothes, heaters, hot drinks. Anything to keep you safe." Lyra gave a small smile, her first real smile since he woke up. "Thank you," she said softly. As the morning sun climbed higher, Alex watched her carefully. He thought about the responsibilities of sharing a dorm with someone from another world. Humans had a way of solving problems quickly, of using their creativity and instinct to help others. Maybe this was the moment to show her exactly that. He decided that after breakfast they would do more research. He wanted to learn how to help her live comfortably on Earth. But for now, seeing her resting peacefully, he allowed himself a small sigh of relief. She had survived the night, and just like that, Alex realized something important. Humans might not be the strongest in the galaxy, but their warmth, care, and quick thinking could save lives, even the life of someone from a distant planet. Lyra shifted slightly under the blankets, opening her eyes. She looked at him with quiet curiosity. "Alex." "Strange world," she said. Alex laughed softly, a mix of relief and amazement. "Yeah, it's strange. But it's home for now, and we'll make it work for you too." For the first time, Alex felt a true bond forming, not just as roommates but as friends. Two beings from different worlds, learning to live together in a strange new environment. As the morning light filled the room, Alex felt a spark of hope. Maybe this unexpected wake-up wasn't just a problem. It was the beginning of something incredible. Something that could teach both of them about courage, adaptation, and the power of care. And with that thought, he leaned back, ready to face whatever challenges this strange friendship would bring. The morning sun spilled into the dorm room, casting a warm glow over the piles of blankets and the small, cluttered space that Alex and Lyra now shared. Lyra was awake, sitting upright under the blankets, her long silver-blue hair cascading over her shoulders. She was still shivering slightly, though not as badly as the night before. Alex had already prepared a small breakfast, setting a tray with warm tea, toast, and fruit on the edge of the bed. He watched her carefully, noting how she sipped her tea slowly, her large violet eyes studying everything in the room with quiet curiosity. "You need to eat something," Alex said gently. "Your body uses energy to stay warm, so we need to keep you strong." Lyra nodded, her delicate fingers wrapping around the warm cup. "Energy, good." "Hot," she murmured. Her voice was soft but melodic, each word carrying an alien rhythm that made Alex smile. "Okay," Alex said, trying to think quickly. "After breakfast, we need to figure out why you get so cold. Maybe it's your planet's biology, or something about your body. Either way, we'll fix it." Lyra tilted her head slightly, a gesture that was both thoughtful and strange to Alex. "Fix? Yes, humans. Strong," she said, a small smile crossing her face. It seemed she admired humans' ability to survive and adapt. Once she finished eating, Alex helped her into a warmer outfit he had improvised from extra clothes and thermal layers. She still shivered, but less. He noticed how her alien body seemed to absorb warmth slowly, almost as if it were learning how to handle Earth's environment. "Let's go to the medical center," Alex suggested. "We need professional advice just to be safe." Lyra nodded again, and they carefully made their way to the campus health facility. Students passed by, many of them staring at Lyra in awe. Her otherworldly appearance drew attention everywhere she went. Her pale, glowing skin, her shimmering hair, and the way she moved with grace, unlike any human, fascinated everyone. Alex kept a protective hand near her shoulder. "Ignore them," he whispered. "They don't understand yet." Inside the clinic, the nurses and doctors stared in shock. Alex explained that she was an alien roommate, and that she had been shivering severely overnight. The staff tried to examine her, but even the simple devices like thermometers and heart monitors didn't work properly on her body. "It's unusual," one nurse said. "We've never seen anything like this." Lyra tilted her head, listening but remaining calm. She seemed to trust Alex completely, following his lead even in this strange and confusing place. Alex decided to take matters into his own hands. He had read about alien physiology online, but theory was very different from reality. Maybe her body stores heat differently, he suggested. Her metabolism might react differently to cold. "We have to help her adjust gradually." Lyra's eyes brightened slightly at his words, and she spoke slowly. "Adjust? Yes, need, learn." Over the next few days, Alex experimented carefully with ways to keep her warm. He built a small habitat in their dorm room using blankets, pillows, and portable heaters. He modified her clothes with layers and heat-retaining materials, trying to balance comfort and safety. Lyra watched him work, her large eyes following every movement. "Human, clever. Adapt," she said softly, almost admiringly. "Strong, help." Alex felt proud, but also a little overwhelmed. Helping someone from another planet was not something he had prepared for in his life. He had to think about science, biology, and safety, but also about friendship and trust. Humans had unique skills that seemed simple but were powerful: problem-solving, empathy, and patience. He realized that these traits might be exactly what Lyra needed to survive. At night, he would sit by her side, sharing stories about Earth. He told her about warm, sunny days, about humans' strange habits, and about how people learn to live in cold climates. Lyra listened, her violet eyes reflecting wonder. Sometimes she asked questions that made Alex pause, curious questions about human emotions, human strength, and why humans could survive in so many environments. One evening, as snow fell gently outside the dorm window, Alex noticed Lyra rubbing her arms for warmth despite the layers he had provided. He placed his hands on hers and smiled. "We'll get through this," he said. "Humans survive because we find ways. We figure out problems even when they seem impossible." Lyra's expression softened. "Humans. Strong, yes. Clever," she whispered. She was beginning to understand, not just his words, but the human spirit itself. The determination, the care, the ability to act when it mattered most. The next day, Alex decided to take Lyra on a small walk outside. He wanted her to experience sunlight and fresh air while learning how to adjust gradually. He bundled her up in layers, and they stepped carefully into the cold morning. Lyra's first steps on Earth's snow-covered ground were slow and cautious. Her movements were graceful, but she hesitated as the cold nipped at her extremities. Alex walked beside her, pointing out small things: how the sun reflected on the snow, how humans could enjoy the cold if they prepared for it, and how their bodies adapted over time. "This is how humans survive," Alex said, smiling. "We use clothes, movement, and warmth. You can too." Lyra listened closely, trying to mimic his movements and gestures. Her large eyes took in every detail, her body slowly adjusting to the cold. "Learn, adapt." "Humans," she murmured. "Strong, yes." They returned to their dorm room, where Alex carefully monitored her temperature and comfort. Over the next few days, they created routines: hot drinks in the morning, layers during the day, and warm blankets at night. Lyra's shivering became less frequent, and her energy levels improved. During one quiet evening, as they studied together, Alex noticed Lyra staring at him with a thoughtful expression. "Humans, clever. Survive. Strong, warmth. Not just body, heart," she said softly, almost as if discovering something new. Alex smiled. "Exactly," he said. "Humans survive because we care, because we find solutions, and because we never give up even when things are hard." Lyra's eyes sparkled. "Humans, amazing," she whispered. She was beginning to understand that survival was not just about biology. It was about mind, spirit, and the ability to act with care. Over the next week, Alex and Lyra grew closer. They shared small meals, laughed at minor misunderstandings, and slowly built trust. Lyra's alien features became more familiar to Alex: the way she tilted her head when curious, the musical cadence of her speech, and the subtle warmth of her presence. He realized that humans had a way of making others feel safe, even in the strangest circumstances. One evening, Alex reflected on everything that had happened. He had woken up to a fragile, shivering alien, But now Lyra was learning to thrive on Earth. Their bond was growing, and he felt a quiet pride. Humans might not have superpowers or advanced alien technology, but their resourcefulness, empathy, and courage could change lives, even those of beings from other worlds. Lyra, curled up under layers of blankets, watched him thoughtfully. "Alex, teach, survive. Warmth, humans, special," she said softly, a hint of admiration in her voice. Alex nodded. "Yes, Lyra, humans are special, but you're special too for learning and trusting me. Together, we can figure out anything." The snow outside continued to fall, but inside the dorm, warmth and light filled the room. Two beings from different worlds were learning from each other, teaching, protecting, and discovering the power of care, intelligence, and adaptability. And as they sat together that night, Alex realized that this was only the beginning. Helping Lyra survive on Earth was more than just a challenge. It was an adventure, one that would test human ingenuity, courage, and kindness. For Lyra, the experience was opening her eyes to humans' true strength. Not just their ability to survive, but their ability to protect, teach, and inspire. And for Alex, it was teaching him that humans could be heroes in unexpected ways, through thought, care, and the willingness to face unknown challenges. Together, they would continue this journey. The cold might return and the world might test them, but Alex knew one thing. As long as humans used their minds, hearts, and creativity, they could overcome anything, even the freezing unknown of an alien body adapting to Earth. And with that thought, Alex looked at Lyra, determined. He would protect her, teach her, and help her survive. And in doing so, he would discover something extraordinary about humans, and about the bond that could form between two very different worlds. The campus was bustling with students rushing between classes, laughing and chatting in the crisp autumn air. Alex and Lyra walked together along the paved pathways, their breaths forming small clouds in the cool morning. Lyra's new layered clothing kept her warm, but she still moved with cautious grace, her large violet eyes scanning the environment. "Remember, stay close to me," Alex said softly. "Some people might stare, but don't worry. Just focus on walking and learning." Lyra nodded, her pale fingers brushing against the sleeve of Alex's jacket. "Humans. Strong, adapt." "Yes," she murmured. She was beginning to understand that Earth was different from her icy home planet, and she trusted Alex to help her navigate it. As they passed the student center, a small crowd of curious students noticed Lyra. Whispers spread quickly and a few cameras flashed. Some students pointed and gasped at her shimmering hair and glowing skin. Alex's heart tightened. He had expected curiosity, but the intensity of attention surprised him. He stepped slightly in front of Lyra, shielding her from prying eyes. "Ignore them," he said firmly. "They don't understand yet. Focus on walking." Lyra tilted her head and blinked slowly. "Strange. World, humans. Strange," she said softly, almost in awe. They continued to the campus library, where Alex hoped they could find information on human physiology, climate adaptation, and any research that might help Lyra survive comfortably on Earth. The library was quiet, a place of calm amid the chaos outside. "Let's start with basic human biology," Alex suggested. "We need to understand how our bodies manage heat so we can figure out how to help you." Lyra's eyes brightened. "Learn, adapt, survive." "Yes," she said. She seemed fascinated by human science and eager to understand the differences between their worlds. They spent hours poring over books and online databases. Alex showed Lyra how humans generated warmth through movement, metabolism, and layering clothing. He explained the ways humans prepared for winter, using insulated clothing, hot food, and heating systems. Lyra listened intently, occasionally asking questions that made Alex pause and think more deeply. Humans, clever, survive, use body, mind, she said one afternoon, her voice soft and thoughtful. Stronger than appears, Alex smiled. Exactly. Humans survive because we use our minds and bodies together. We adapt, we solve problems, and we help each other. That's what makes us strong. For Lyra, each lesson was a revelation. She had grown up on a planet where survival relied heavily on environmental adaptation, rather than individual ingenuity. Earth was different, and humans' ability to solve problems creatively impressed her deeply. But adapting to Earth's environment wasn't just an academic exercise. A sudden cold snap hit the campus one evening, and Lyra began shivering uncontrollably again. Alex acted quickly, wrapping her in blankets and guiding her back to their dorm. "We need to find a better solution," he said, determined. "We can't let you freeze like this again." Lyra's large eyes reflected a mix of fear and trust. "Yes, fix. Survive. Humans. Strong," she whispered. She knew she could rely on Alex, and that trust gave her courage. The next day, Alex visited the campus laboratory to experiment with ways to keep her warm. Using safe materials and equipment, he created portable heat sources and layered thermal insulation. He even modified her clothing, combining human fabrics with lightweight alien materials Lyra had brought from her planet. Lyra observed closely, fascinated by Alex's ingenuity. Humans. Think, act, clever, adapt. "Yes," she said, her voice filled with admiration. She was learning that survival wasn't just about biology. It was about creativity, resourcefulness, and determination. While Alex worked on practical solutions, Lyra began to understand humans on a deeper level. She noticed how they cooperated, cared for one another, and used intelligence to solve problems that seemed impossible. Her respect for humans grew, especially for Alex, who combined patience, skill, and empathy in ways that amazed her. One afternoon, they were interrupted by a small group of students who approached them cautiously. "Is she really an alien?" one of them asked, eyes wide. Alex stepped forward calmly. "Yes, she is. But she's also my roommate and my friend. We're just trying to help her adjust to Earth." Some students whispered in awe while others stared silently. Alex realized that curiosity could be dangerous if it turned into fear. "Please give her space," he said firmly. "She's learning to adapt just like we all do when we face something new." The students nodded and backed away, leaving Alex and Lyra alone. Lyra looked at him with wide, trusting eyes. "Humans and strong. Protect, clever." "Yes," she said softly. The challenges weren't just social. Lyra's alien body was still struggling with Earth's temperatures, especially during the nights when the dorm heating wasn't enough. Alex improvised solutions, combining hot water bottles, thermal blankets, and gentle exercise to help her maintain warmth. Through these challenges, Alex realized something important. Humans had a unique strength that wasn't just physical. It was their ability to think quickly, solve problems creatively, and act with care. That was the quality that made them exceptional, and it was exactly what Lyra needed to survive. One evening, as snow fell outside, Alex and Lyra sat together in their makeshift warm corner of the dorm room. "You're learning fast," Alex said, smiling. "You're stronger than you think, and your body is starting to adjust." Lyra looked at him, her eyes reflecting a mixture of wonder and gratitude. "Humans. Amazing. Teach. Protect. Clever," she said. "I learn. Survive." Yes, Alex felt a quiet pride. He had woken up one morning to find a shivering alien in his bed, and now they were facing the challenges of an entire campus together. He realized that humans could achieve incredible things, not because they were the strongest, but because they used their minds, hearts, and creativity to solve problems. The cold night continued outside, but inside, warmth and light filled the room. Alex and Lyra had begun to form a partnership, one built on trust, learning, and shared challenges. They discovered that survival wasn't just about enduring hardships. It was about understanding, adapting, and supporting one another. Over the next few days, Alex introduced Lyra to simple exercises to help her body generate heat, like light stretching and moving around the dorm room. He monitored her temperature carefully, adjusting layers and blankets as needed. Lyra followed his instructions diligently, eager to learn and adapt. One afternoon, as they walked back from a brief outing to the campus cafe, a gust of wind caught Lyra off guard. She stumbled slightly, and Alex caught her hand instantly. "Careful," he said, steadying her. "Your body is still adjusting, but you're doing great." Lyra smiled faintly. "Humans? Help, strong." "Yes," she murmured. She realized that her survival depended not just on her biology, but on the guidance, protection, and knowledge that humans like Alex could provide. By the end of the week, Lyra's shivering had decreased significantly. She was beginning to enjoy small moments outdoors, marveling at the sunlight reflecting on the snow and the bright colors of autumn leaves. Her trust in Alex deepened, and she started to understand that humans had a unique combination of intelligence, resilience, and care that made them remarkable. One quiet evening, as they sat together studying human biology and alien physiology, Alex reflected on their journey so far. He had faced challenges he had never imagined, but he had also discovered a strength within himself, the ability to adapt, protect, and teach. Humans might not have advanced alien technology or super strength, but they had qualities that could bridge worlds: empathy, creativity, and determination. Lyra's voice broke through his thoughts. Alex, humans, special, yes, clever, protect, warm, she said softly. Her words were simple, but their meaning was profound. She was recognizing the qualities that made humans extraordinary, the qualities that had saved her life and helped her adapt to Earth. Alex smiled, feeling a surge of hope. Yes, Lyra, humans are special. And you're special too, for trusting, learning, and surviving. Together we can handle anything. As the snow fell silently outside, Alex and Lyra sat together in their warm corner, two beings from different worlds learning to survive, adapt, and understand one another. The challenges of campus life, the cold nights, and the curious stares of other students were all part of a larger lesson. Survival wasn't just about enduring hardships. It was about learning, adapting, and relying on the strength of intelligence, care, and friendship. And for Alex, it was becoming clear that humans' greatest strength was not in muscles or weapons, but in their ability to think, protect, and act when it mattered most. That was the quality that would not only help Lyra survive, but would also define the incredible bond forming between two worlds. The morning air was colder than usual, biting through Alex's jacket as he hurried across the campus with Lyra at his side. The sudden arrival of a harsh winter storm had caught everyone off guard. Snow whipped through the air and icy gusts made it difficult to walk. Lyra shivered visibly, her delicate alien body struggling against the cold. "Stay close," Alex said, gripping her hand tightly. "We'll get back to the dorm quickly." Lyra nodded, her glowing violet eyes wide with concern. "Cold, very strong." "Yes," she murmured. Her voice trembled, and Alex knew that despite all the preparations they had made, her body was reaching its limit. By the time they reached the dorm, Lyra's shivering was more violent than it had been in previous weeks. Alex immediately led her to their warm corner, piling blankets around her and using portable heaters to raise the temperature. He also brewed hot tea and carefully helped her sip it, hoping it would provide temporary warmth. "This is bad," he muttered to himself. "She can't survive like this if it keeps getting colder." Lyra, weak but aware, looked up at him. "Alex, humans? Strong? Clever? Help?" "Yes," she whispered. It was clear she trusted him entirely. That trust fueled Alex's determination. He decided they needed a more permanent solution. The small dorm setup was not enough to withstand a severe winter storm. Alex began brainstorming ideas. He knew he could combine human ingenuity with Lyra's alien technology to create a controlled warming system. It would require improvisation, but he was confident in their combined abilities. First, Alex gathered what he could find: space blankets, heaters, thermal clothing, and Lyra's alien gadgets. Lyra assisted as best as she could, although her energy was low. Together they set up a small insulated area in the corner of the room. Alex carefully wired heaters to a safe power source and created layers of blankets and insulation around Lyra. The alien technology she provided amplified the heat in small bursts, preventing her from overheating. "You're amazing," Lyra said softly, her voice weak but filled with admiration. "Humans think, act, solve." "Yes," Alex smiled, though he was exhausted. "We're a team," he said. "Your survival depends on us working together." And humans? Well, we never give up when it matters most. Even with their makeshift system, Lyra's condition remained fragile. Alex realized that she needed more than warmth. She needed a way to regulate her body's temperature more efficiently. He began studying her physiology closely, noting how her metabolism responded to heat and cold. He combined his observations with research on human biology, devising a method to help her body gradually adapt to Earth's climate. The process required patience and precision. Alex monitored her temperature constantly, adjusting layers, heaters, and alien devices. He encouraged her to perform light exercises to stimulate her metabolism, all while ensuring she did not overexert herself. Each small victory, Less shivering, more energy, slight warmth, was celebrated quietly between them. One evening, as the storm raged outside, Lyra spoke in her soft, musical voice. Alex, humans? Courage, clever, strong, yes, protect, survive. Her words reflected understanding, gratitude, and admiration. She was learning that survival was not only about biology, but also about trust, teamwork, and ingenuity, the qualities humans excelled at. Alex realized that Lyra's mission on Earth was not just about studying humans. It was also a test of her resilience and adaptation. Her people needed data on humans' ability to survive in different environments, and Alex's quick thinking and care were teaching her lessons that went beyond science. The storm continued for days, making it difficult to leave the dorm. Supplies ran low, and Alex had to improvise constantly, finding creative solutions to keep Lyra warm and healthy. He used hot water from the kitchenette, layered blankets strategically, and even constructed reflective panels to trap heat within her small shelter. During this time, they shared more about themselves. Lyra described her home planet, icy landscapes, bright auroras, and a society where survival was often a group effort. Alex shared stories of human ingenuity, from building heated shelters to surviving harsh winters, emphasizing the creativity and determination that defined their species. Humans. Different, strong, yes, Lyra said one night, her voice filled with wonder. Body, mind work, together survive. Alex smiled. Exactly, he said. Humans survive because we combine our minds, hearts, and actions. We care for each other, solve problems, and never give up, even when the situation seems impossible. As the storm raged on, Alex realized that their small dorm room had become a testing ground for both of them. Lyra's body was slowly adapting to Earth, and she was learning to trust human ingenuity completely. In turn, Alex discovered a strength within himself, the ability to protect, problem solve, and act with calm determination under pressure. One particularly harsh night, Lyra's shivering returned more severe than before. Alex worked quickly, layering blankets, adjusting heaters, and using Lyra's alien devices. He noticed her breathing becoming shallow and her eyes reflecting panic. This is serious, he muttered. We need a long-term solution. He decided to combine human technology with Lyra's alien devices more effectively. Using insulated panels, controlled heating, and her own energy-conserving mechanisms, he created a small enclosed space where Lyra could remain warm without danger of overheating. It was a delicate balance requiring constant monitoring. Lyra watched him work, her trust in him absolute. Alex, clever. Protect, yes, humans. Strong, she whispered. She realized that humans' greatest strength was not physical power, but intelligence, care, and adaptability, the very qualities that were saving her life. By the 5th day of the storm, Lyra's condition had stabilized. She could maintain warmth and energy with minimal assistance, though she still relied on Alex for guidance and care. The experience had strengthened both of them, the alien and the human, learning from one another, adapting, and surviving together. One morning, as the storm finally began to ease, Alex and Lyra ventured briefly outside. The campus was blanketed in snow, the sunlight reflecting off the icy surfaces. Lyra's eyes widened in amazement. Beautiful. Earth, different. Survive, humans, yes, she said softly. Alex smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. Yes, it's beautiful. And you survived it together. Lyra turned to him, her expression thoughtful. Alex, humans? Protect. Clever. Hard, yes. Strong, she said. I learn. Survive. Thanks. Alex placed a hand gently on her shoulder. That's what humans do, he said. We think, act, and care. We adapt. And we help each other. That's how we survive. The storm had tested them both, but it had also revealed a truth that neither had anticipated. Survival was not just about enduring the elements. It was about intelligence, resourcefulness, empathy, and teamwork, the qualities that made humans extraordinary in the galaxy. For Lyra, the experience was transformative. She had come to Earth to study humans, but she had also learned their values firsthand. Their courage, creativity, and care were not just admirable, they were life-saving. For Alex, the experience had reinforced what he had always believed. Humans could face incredible challenges with ingenuity, patience, and compassion. Protecting another being, especially one from a completely different world, required the very best of these traits. And in doing so, he had formed a bond that transcended species, culture, and planet. As the sun broke through the clouds, Alex and Lyra returned to their dorm, ready to continue their journey together. The storm was over, but the lessons remained. Humans had the power to survive, adapt, and protect, not through strength alone, but through intelligence, care, and determination. Lyra looked at him, her eyes reflecting both gratitude and admiration. Alex, humans? Amazing, yes, clever. Survive, protect, she said softly. Alex smiled, feeling the weight of the storm's challenges lift. Yes, Lyra, humans are amazing. And you're amazing too. We'll continue learning, surviving, and facing challenges together. Inside their dorm, warmth, light, and hope filled the space. Two beings from different worlds had faced extreme conditions, and they had emerged stronger, wiser, and more connected. The storm had tested them, but it had also revealed the true strength of humans, their ability to think, adapt, care, and act when it mattered most. And as they settled in for the night, Alex knew that this was only the beginning. The universe was vast, unpredictable, and full of challenges. But with human ingenuity, determination, and heart, even the most impossible situations could be overcome. Together, he and Lyra would face whatever came next. The sun rose slowly over the campus, casting soft golden light over the snow-covered pathways. The storm from the previous week had passed, leaving a crisp, clean world behind. Alex and Lyra stepped out of their dorm together, their breaths forming small clouds in the chilly air. Lyra's layered clothing kept her warm, and she moved with more confidence than before, her large violet eyes reflecting a quiet sense of accomplishment. Look, Alex said, pointing to the snow sparkling in the sunlight. The world is beautiful, isn't it? Lyra tilted her head, studying the white landscape and the students moving around the campus. Beautiful. Earth, different. Yes, she murmured. She had experienced snowstorms, cold snaps, and near danger, but the sight of sunlight on snow brought her a sense of peace she had not felt before. Alex smiled. And you survived it all. You've adapted so well. I'm proud of you. Lyra's eyes glimmered, a hint of her alien glow shining brighter than usual. Alex, humans. Strong, clever, protect, survive. Yes, she said softly. Her words reflected admiration and gratitude, but also understanding. She now knew what humans were capable of. Intelligence, courage, and compassion working together to overcome challenges. They walked through campus, observing life as it continued after the storm. Students shoveled paths, laughed, and chatted, oblivious to the life lessons Alex and Lyra had learned over the past week. Alex realized that humans had a way of thriving, even when circumstances seemed impossible. Their ingenuity and determination were not always flashy, but they were powerful. Lyra's curiosity returned in full force. She asked about human traditions, habits, and behaviors, eager to understand everything. Alex explained simple things, the way humans shared meals, celebrated seasons, and worked together in small communities. Lyra listened, fascinated by the depth of human connection and ingenuity. Humans, more than survive, also create, help, yes, she said softly. Her words were careful but thoughtful, showing that she had begun to understand the heart of human life. Back in their dorm, Alex and Lyra began planning ways to combine human knowledge with her alien technology. Lyra revealed that part of her mission on Earth was to collect data on human adaptability and resilience. But she also admitted that her experiences had taught her something unexpected. Humans were remarkable not just for surviving, but for their ability to care, protect, and teach. Your people sent you here to study us, Alex said, but you've also learned firsthand what humans can do. And honestly, I've learned a lot from you too. Lyra smiled, a faint, graceful curve of her lips. Learn together. Humans, clever, strong, yes. Over the next few weeks, their daily routines became a mix of study, experimentation, and adaptation. Alex continued to monitor Lyra's condition, refining the warming system he had created during the storm. They tested new combinations of human and alien technology, creating clothing, devices, and habitats that allowed Lyra to live comfortably in Earth's temperatures. Lyra's confidence grew. She could walk outside for longer periods, participate in classes, and even help other students with small tasks using her alien skills. Her presence fascinated many students, but Alex's calm guidance helped her navigate social challenges without fear. One day, while walking through the campus gardens, Lyra stopped and looked around, her eyes reflecting awe. "Alex, humans. Survive, adapt, care, yes." "Amazing," she said softly. Alex chuckled. "We're not perfect, but we try our best. That's how we get through tough times." Lyra nodded, her gaze thoughtful. "I learn, survive, understand. Humans, clever." Yes. She had begun to grasp a deep truth. Human strength was not just physical. It was in their minds, hearts, and willingness to help others. Their partnership extended beyond survival. Alex taught Lyra about Earth's history, science, and art, while she shared knowledge of her icy home planet, advanced technology, and alien culture. Each exchange strengthened their bond, showing that two beings from different worlds could learn, adapt, and grow together. One evening, as they worked in their dorm room, Lyra turned to Alex with a serious expression. "Alex, mission, continue. But stay. Help humans." "Yes," she said. Alex nodded, understanding immediately. "I'll help you. We'll continue learning together. Whatever comes next, we'll face it as a team." Lyra's eyes shone with gratitude and trust. "Humans. Strong, clever, protect, survive, teach. Yes," she repeated softly. As days turned into weeks, Alex and Lyra became inseparable. Students noticed their bond and began to admire it. Some were curious, some cautious, but most were inspired by the friendship and teamwork between human and alien. Alex realized that humans had a way of inspiring others simply by acting with intelligence, courage, and care. Lyra's adaptation was complete. She could survive Earth's cold temperatures, move confidently, and even assist in minor tasks that required strength or precision. She no longer depended solely on Alex for warmth, though she still valued his guidance, friendship, and protection. One quiet afternoon, as snow melted and spring approached, Alex and Lyra sat together in their dorm, reflecting on their journey. "You've learned so much," Alex said, smiling. "Not just about Earth, but about humans, friendship, and life." Lyra nodded, her glowing eyes filled with understanding. "Yes, humans. Amazing, clever, protect, teach, survive. Yes, I'm grateful." "Alex." Alex felt a warmth in his chest, a sense of accomplishment and pride. "And I'm grateful for you too. You've taught me a lot about courage, trust, and seeing the universe from a different perspective." Together, they planned new experiments, combining human and alien technology to create solutions for extreme environments. They dreamed of traveling beyond Earth, exploring planets where humans could survive and thrive, using their ingenuity and compassion as guides. The story of Alex and Lyra was more than just survival. It was about trust, friendship, and discovery. Two beings from different worlds had learned to rely on each other, to adapt, and to teach one another. Their experiences showed that humans' greatest strengths lay in their minds, hearts, and the courage to act when it mattered most. Lyra looked at Alex, her expression serene and confident. "Alex, humans. Clever, strong, survive. Yes. Together, yes," Alex smiled. "Yes, Lyra. Together we can face anything." As spring approached and the campus began to bloom with life, Alex and Lyra stepped outside once more. Sunlight reflected off the melting snow, and the warmth of the season enveloped them. The world was full of possibilities, challenges, adventures, and discoveries waiting to be made. And as they walked side by side, Alex realized something extraordinary. Humans could face the unknown, overcome dangers, and inspire others, all with their intelligence, empathy, and determination. And with Lyra by his side, he knew that this journey was only beginning. For Lyra, Earth was no longer just a mission. It was a place where she had learned the value of human ingenuity, care, and friendship. And for Alex, life had become richer, fuller, and more extraordinary because he had discovered that even the most alien challenges could be met with courage, creativity, and heart. As they returned to their dorm, Alex and Lyra laughed softly at a small mistake in one of their experiments, a sound that was both human and universal. It was a moment of joy, a symbol of how far they had come together. Their story had started with fear and uncertainty, with a cold night and a shivering alien in Alex's bed. But it had grown into something remarkable, a tale of survival, trust, and the extraordinary power of human qualities. And as night fell over the campus, the warmth of friendship, understanding, and hope filled their dorm room. Two beings from different worlds had learned to thrive together, showing that humans' greatest strengths were not just survival but empathy, ingenuity, and the courage to face the unknown. The future was wide open, full of adventures waiting to be explored, discoveries waiting to be made, and challenges waiting to be overcome. But Alex and Lyra knew that together, there was nothing they could not face. Humans were clever, adaptable, and resilient. And when combined with trust, friendship, and care, even the coldest, most alien challenges could be overcome. Lyra looked at Alex one last time that night, her eyes glowing softly in the dim light. "Alex, humans. Amazing, clever. Protect, yes. Survive. Together," she whispered. Alex nodded, feeling the truth of her words in his heart. "Yes, Lyra. Together we can survive, explore, and thrive, no matter what comes next." And with that, they rested, ready to face the adventures of tomorrow, their bond stronger than ever, a testament to the power of human ingenuity, heart, and friendship.